My name is Jake. Half an hour ago, I was just a regular kid. Not anymore. It's amazing how quickly your whole life can change.
Congratulations, Galactic Warrior. You are now in the Overlord atmosphere with 230,000 points. Please enter your name. Scanning enemy overlords. Surge.
I'll make it to Magic.
Are you dreaming again, Marco?
You did?
What do you think, Homer? See? All right, you're on. Go.
Congratulations, Wolf. You are now in the Magi atmosphere with 3,660,000 points. Alert! Alert! Please enter more coins. 1 minute playing time to go. Mission failed.
Aren't you gonna see what's next?
Later.
Oh, hi. Hey, guys.
Where have you been? One word. Sail.
Excuse me, but I am captain of the gymnastics team. We had a meet. So, what have you been doing, Galactic Warrior?
Prepare. Tribute level.
Hey! What's going on? That's not fair.
You just got blown away. Homer, no! Homer!
Jake, we already paid for another 20 minutes.
Come on, boy, let's go! Looks like those obedience classes are paying off.
What's up with him anyways?
I don't know. We gotta get him back. Homer, where are you going?
Homer!
Homer, come here! Homer! Homer, stop! This isn't funny.
What's he want in there? Homer?
This place creeps me out.
Hey, guys, it's getting late. We looked everywhere. He's not here.
We've gotta find him. Come on, Homer. Come on.
Homer!
Let's go, boy.
Homer!
Over here. Come on.
Homer! Hey, Homer, come here,
Homer.
boy.
Come on, boy.
Come here, boy. Come
Homer,
on, Homer.
come on. Do you see him?
No.
Nah, man. Yo, Homer! Homer!
Let's go, Homer. Come on. Homer.
Where are you, boy? Come on. Hey, he's over here. He seems okay now.
Hey. Thanks.
Sure.
Come here, Homer. Come on. Come on.
Good boy. Good boy.
You're new around here, right?
Look.
Whoa.
Look at that.
Too weird.
Come on.
Let's go.
I don't think so.
Understands her. She's right. I'm in.
Huh? You're insane. Hey, wait up.
There's something coming out.
Uh-huh. This is the part where we hide, amigo.
What is this?
I don't know, but it's definitely not from my hood.
What are you doing? It looks like it's hurt.
Yeah, so?
So we have to help it.
What if it's, like, radioactive or something?
Oh, please.
Stay.
Oh, sure. The dog gets to stay.
Maybe we should try talking to it.
Yeah. Just let me get out my alien English dictionary.
Do not be afraid. I mean you no harm.
Where did that come from?
I heard it, but I didn't hear it.
I heard it. In my head.
We all heard it.
I'm speaking to you in thoughts.
You're hurt. We can help you.
I am Elfangor of the Andalite world. I've come.
Jake, give me a shirt. He's wounded.
There's nothing you can do for me.
It's gonna be okay. Cassie knows a lot about animals.
Way to insult the guy, Rach.
The wound is fatal. I will die. But there will be others.
Others?
Unlike me, they have come to destroy you. There is no time for fear. You must help your world. But you must protect yourselves from the Yerks.
The what?
The Yerks. The Yerks are parasites. They must have a host to live in. On Earth, their hosts are humans. They enter your brain and take over your thoughts and feelings. These hosts are called controllers. They can be anyone. Your family, your friends. Earth is their next target.
Wait a sec. You're telling me that some slimy alien slug can crawl into our brains and take over our minds?
And control us?
Yes, there is no time for questions. I must do what I can for you. I have no choice. I can give you a way to fight the Yerks. Each of you must touch one side of the cure.
I'm not touching that.
If you don't, then everything you love will be destroyed. Your brothers, your sisters, your parents.
Rachel, I don't know.
You heard him. We have no choice.
Man, this is insane.
This gift is for you too, Tobias.
How do you know my name?
Hurry.
Now what? Something's wrong.
It is done. The power of change is in your flesh.
Change? What kind of change?
You need only to touch a creature to acquire its DNA pattern and change your form.
Change our form? You mean we can change into animals?
Exactly. You can become any animal you touch and acquire, but remember, When you change, you must return to your human form within 2 Earth hours.
Why? What happens after 2 hours?
You will be trapped within that animal form forever.
What's going on? Now who's that?
What's happening?
Visser 3 is here.
What's a Visser 3?
You must go. Go! Your lives are more important than mine. Now go! Go! Tobias! Guard this, Tobias, with your heart and your soul.
Tobias, come on!
I have to get it! It's another one. Oh, but this one's different.
I'm guessing that's Visser 3.
Prince of Fangor, what an honor it is to be in the presence of a legend. You've managed to shred quite a few of our fighters.
Visser 3.
Yes, I have taken one of your Andalite bodies as my host. Your Andalite morphing technology has been so very useful to me.
No matter how many bodies you steal, you will not win this war. We will fight you.
You and your Andalite armies are fighting on too many fronts. Your forces are spread too thin. This world will soon be ours.
Why Earth? Why these people?
Because there are so many, and they're so weak. Our army will be 1 billion strong. And then I promise you one thing, Fangor. I will return to your world and personally oversee the infestation of your entire family. I hope that they resist, so that I can hear their minds scream.
You cannot take me.
You guys just get out of Come on.
They've seen us.
Over there. Tell Mr. 3 we have a problem.
Okay. Check over there! Go around the back!
Release the Harfish here.
Come on, Homer. Come on, let's go.
What is that?
Wanna hang around and find out?
No, thanks. I'll read the book.
Cassie's stuck! Hey! Hey, over here! Hey, stupid, over here!
Jake, no!
Come on! I'm right here! Come on, let's go! Great. Homer! Homer, come here. Come on, Homer. Come on. Come here, boy. Come on. Homer, it's you. Come here. Come here. Come on.
Keep looking. They have to be somewhere. We lost them in the woods.
Then go after them! You! One of them is still here. Track him down or answer to Visser 3.
Right.
Incompetence.
I need your help, Homer.
The footprints lead to that pipe! Come on out of there, son. Let me check.
Hey! Come back here!
Get them!
Did you find them?
No, sir! Just a couple of dogs!
Get those dogs, you fool! They might be Andalites!
Last night when I got home, I called Jake. He didn't answer. He's smart. He'll show up. Hey, Tobias.
No. Funniest thing happened to me last night. Some blue dude with 4 legs put me and a few other idiots tried to save the world.
Quiet. You want someone to hear you? I thought that thing got him.
It didn't. Listen. I did it. I mean, it works. I became Homer last night. That's how I got away. No. You're serious? It's so bizarre. I was trapped. No, I had no other choice, and I remember what the alien said. So I put my hand on Homer. I just started concentrating. All of a sudden, I started, like, mutating. You know, I could hear my bones crunching and twisting. Yeah, man. I watched my arms become paws. I became my dog.
You were Homer?
Actually, a copy. I mean, Homer was there too.
Did it hurt?
No, not really. I mean, it's hard to explain. At first, I didn't know what I was. You know, I could hear everything, and the smells. You don't believe me, do you?
No, we do. It's just too weird. You know, beyond too weird.
Way beyond.
Hey, I swear, it's true. I mean, I keep on thinking I'm gonna wake up and this is all gonna be a dream. But it's not. What we saw last night was real. It happened, right?
So now what? Save the world? Can we eat first?
I'm kidding. What do we do? Where do we start?
How about that blue dude? You know, the nice one.
Elfangor. Yeah, he tried to give you something.
What was it?
It looked like some kind of a disc or something. It's gotta be important. He said to guard it with my heart and my soul.
He knew your name. How come?
Like I know. He's probably telepathic or something.
But that disc, I mean, that's gotta be able to help us somehow.
We'll have to get it back.
Are you kidding me? Shh. They practically got us on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. Didn't you hear the news?
Yeah, they're looking for some kids who set off fireworks.
Fireworks? That's a lot. Maybe they're lying. Maybe they've got yerks in their heads.
That means the Yerks could be eating.
If they saw our faces, they would have caught us by now.
Yeah, but we can't talk here. Anyone could be one of them.
Controller.
Is anyone going to rein in this chaos, or do I have to do everything myself?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chapman.
Incompetence.
Guys, come here. From now on, we just talk to each other. Trust no one. Principal Chapman's a controller. Five of us against an army of alien slugs. And anyone could be one of them. My name is Jake. That's all I can tell you. I can't tell you my last name or where I live because the controllers are everywhere. How you doing? Nice day. They could be anybody. They could be you.
Work faster! There can be no sign that the Andalite was ever here. Come on!
What's taking so long?
Well, we didn't expect this much debris. There's 1,000
I wanted
pieces.
this cleaned up by
But
now.
we only need a couple more hours.
Hello? Are you looking for Cassie?
Yeah.
She's around here somewhere. I'm Cassie's mom. I haven't seen you before.
That's Tobias.
He just moved here. Hi, Aisha.
Hi. Hi, Marco.
Hi. It must be cool, living on a preserve.
Well, life is certainly never dull. There you go. Home sweet home.
Wow, he's beautiful.
His mother was shot by a poacher. We hatched him and raised him.
I'll bet he misses her.
He probably never even knew her.
That's right.
Hi.
Hi, Jake.
Is Cassie around?
You know, she's probably up at the house. I'll send her down.
Come here. I just went by the...
You guys be careful. These animals are wild. I don't want to have to sew any fingers back on.
I just went by the plant. It's crawling with controllers. And there were cops.
But if there were cops,
Duh.
the cops are controllers too.
At least some of them.
What if they saw you?
They didn't.
These are controllers. What else? Teachers, government, newspapers, TV.
TV. Not TV.
Tobias.
What?
That disc that Alfango tried to give you. Do you have any idea where you might have dropped it?
I didn't drop it. I never even touched it.
We gotta find it.
With all those controllers, we can't exactly sneak back into the plant.
No. But we could go back as animals.
Shouldn't we wait for Cassie?
Yeah, what's taking her so long anyway? I think we all need to be here for this.
She better not flake. Hey, who are you calling a flake? Cassie?
Yeah, it's me.
It's amazing.
Man.
Really?
No, she's lost.
No, she hasn't. When I want you to hear me, I can direct a thought speak to you.
Oh, Cassie, that's disgusting.
Ew, gross.
Oh, man. Oh, Cassie. That is gross. I'm gonna throw up.
It's getting smoother.
That's smoother? That was harsh.
We'll have to get used to that.
Oh, but you guys, it was so awesome. I mean, I was a horse. I was powerful and fast.
Wow. Weren't you scared? I sure was.
So was I at first, but I started to run and I forgot all about being scared.
Okay, who's next?
I'll go.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Hey, kitty.
Touch it.
Whoa, what's that?
That's it. Now you've acquired the cat's DNA. Now concentrate. Think about it. Think about being a cat. And you'll morph.
Is it happening? I feel weird.
Yes. Yes.
Rachel? Rachel.
She's ignoring you.
Of course, she's a cat.
Rachel, are you okay?
Don't bother me. I feel very, very cool. Way to go, Rach.
All right, Marco, it's your turn. Come on, man.
Look, I say we forget it, we don't mention it, and we don't morph. Marco, I halfway agree with you, but
This isn't some dumb video game. We could get killed. You saw what happened to that Andalite. Don't you get it? This is for real. You don't even know what reality is. Nothing bad's ever happened to you. You have this perfect family, like I used to have.
Marco, I know.
Well, go on. Say it. You can say it. My mom's dead. And that's reality. You can all think whatever you want. If something bad was to happen to me, my dad would lose it.
No one's asking you to risk your life right now. I mean, learning to morph might be the one thing that's gonna save your life.
That's right. I mean, the Yerks are a reality for us now. Your dad might freak if you weren't around. I think he'd freak out even more if you had a Yerk in your brain.
Come on, Marco, it's okay. Really.
All right. All right. But I get to choose which animal.
Okay. As you can see, we've got a wide selection from the animal kingdom. We have our medium-sized mammals. And we have our cuter ones.
Why don't we start off small and work our way up? Maybe one of these. I always wanted a rat. Just never thought I'd be one.
Marco meet Bitsy. Bitsy meet Marco. You know the drill, right?
Touch it and think about the rat.
It's acquired. Now concentrate.
Make it stop! What? Am I a rat?
I'd say you were a rat man.
I can't do it. I dare you. Give me that stupid rat.
You don't need to, it's already acquired. Remember, touch, acquire, concentrate, and change.
Yeah.
Rachel, no.
Rachel, it's me.
Control, Rachel, control the animal mind.
Control. You can't eat Marco.
You guys, you have to control the animal brain.
Whoa, okay. I think I'm in control now.
Run!
Marco, are you in control?
Rachel, Marco, change back now.
Okay, I'm coming back. That was wild.
Ow. Oh, man. I feel like I ate a couple pounds of coffee.
It was like having two minds. One's animal and one's human, and they're fighting each other.
The human mind is stronger. We just have to learn how to focus.
It's not easy.
No kidding. I just wanted to sink my teeth into your soft, furry rat neck.
That's what all the girls say.
We gotta be careful though, guys.
That's right. Alfanger said no more than 2 hours.
And we have to remember why we're doing this. It's to help us fight the Yerks.
Thanks for reminding me, perrito.
You're welcome, rat man. All right. We've all done it.
Hold on. Tobias hasn't.
I forgot about Tobias. Sorry, Tobias. Tobias? Tobias! Tobias! Hey, Tobias!
This is totally uncool. What if he freaks and turns us all in?
He wouldn't do that.
How do you know? Just met the guy last night. For all we know, he could be working for the Yerks right now.
If he was, he would have turned us in already.
Where could he have gone?
Does anyone know where he lives?
He said he didn't have parents.
He's kind of a strange guy, that's for sure.
What if you went back for the disc without us?
So, what should we do?
Yeah. What should we do, oh great leader?
Since when am I the leader?
You just are.
Well, I guess we'll have to get Elfango's disc back first.
You're giving this to me?
Don't you want it?
I want it. But you said if I ever touched it again, you'd kill me. How come you're giving it to me?
I don't know. I guess because you're my little sister.
Where are you going? Rachel?
Yeah?
What's wrong with it?
Come on, Dad. Try it.
Oh, thanks, buddy. But you know what? I'm really not that hungry.
Come on, Dad. Don't you want to grow up to be big and strong?
Okay. Well, look at this. I didn't know you knew how to cook.
Man, I can cook.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back. What's up, dog?
Let's go. We're supposed to meet up in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Just let me grab my stuff. You know what? Wait here. I'll be right there.
Hey, Jeremy.
I'll be back then.
Oh, where you going?
I mean, the guys are doing kind of a scavenger hunt.
Oh, that's too bad. They're going to be showing the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Hey, I'll tape it for you if you show me how to program this, this VCR.
Hello? You're an engineer. You can't program a VCR? You're so... I'll be back, Pops.
Don't worry about it. You're beautiful.
Hey.
Excuse me, but am I the only one here who can see this Hork-Bajir footprint? Will somebody fill it in before it makes the front page?
Keep coming, back down here. Over here, too?
Any sign of Tobias?
Nothing.
Rachel, see if you can find that disc.
Okay.
It's not the sight so much as the sound that gets me.
This is getting easier.
Wait, you look too good to be a stray.
Wait.
Watch it, Marco.
Bet.
Guys, leave me alone.
Wow, I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, right.
Let's speed it up. Mr. 3 wants this yard cleaned up tonight.
She's okay.
I found it. Chapman's practically standing on it. We've got to move fast.
Okay, I'll help Cassie with the paint. Marco, you ready? Yeah. When I give the signal, go.
Good luck, guys!
I want everyone to look close to the ground. Search the entire area.
What's that?
Over here! Help! They're landing! Over here! Help! Help! I don't see a thing!
Andalite! Follow him!
Hurry, come on!
I hope this thing's worth it.
Dig, Jake, dig!
I have to tell Mr. 3.
Hurry, Jake! They're here!
Andalite!
Go! Jake! Go!
I got it!
Hurry, Jake! No, not that way!
We're trapped!
Over here! I've got 2 of them! I smell a promotion.
Let's go, Rachel! Run!
That was too close.
Keep running until we get to the woods. The controls are all over this place.
Come on, guys. It's gotta be over here.
I think we lost him.
You got it? You got the disc? We got it. We got the disc.
Yes, the controllers are still back there waiting for the Andalites. It worked.
That was great, Cass.
Hey, look.
Hi.
Tobias, you saved us.
We didn't know what happened to you.
Thanks.
Hey, you do the same for me, right?
We thought you were a controller.
Why did you disappear? Why didn't you tell us you'd acquired the Hawk?
I don't know.
We were all scared.
Yeah, but I guess I was a bit scared that maybe I'd like it too much.
I know what you mean.
Well, thanks. We would have been dead meat without you.
Where's the disc?
Oh, whoa.
Wow.
Weird.
You think it works in a computer?
Maybe it's a weapon.
Maybe we could try it out on Jake's computer.
We've got to make sure nobody sees it.
Okay. I'll keep it overnight and we'll try it tomorrow. All right?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Well, I gotta go. Believe it or not, I got an algebra test tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got some homework as well.
And I've got to meet tomorrow.
Hey, do the cat on the balance beam? You'll be sure to get a 10.
Cool. My name is Jake, but I guess that doesn't matter anymore.
Hey, you're still hungry.
Hey guys, wait up. 5 normal kids against an army of ruthless alien slugs. Those yerks don't know what they're in for.